Hi, Warriors. A little different look to the board today. Weaker dollar, higher yields. So we haven't seen that in a while. How you doing, Scott? RC, Ingmar. Hi, Blake, James, Kman. How are you, brother? Hugo, Marcus. Hi, Steve Bartholomew. Hello. How are you doing, Hugo? Ryan's here. Brand's here. All right. Mike Bergman, RGP. Monir is here. Mike is here. Okay, everyone's here. All the important traders across the globe are in F.A.C.E. So the key question here is, and if you guys recall, Blake showed an uptrend line in the S&Ps last Friday. He showed it to me because I certainly didn't have it on my charts. And boy, that line held. Be interesting to see. Maybe it poked through it a little bit, but he had an uptrend line before this huge reversal. So the key question is, was this the bottom before a rally to new highs where, a lot of the bulls were looking for a wave four before we headed up to new highs? Is it that, or is this just going to be a failing rally? What makes me think that is the definition of bear market rallies is what? And what do you guys think? A bottom or a rally to sell? You
You
guys
know,
could,
Coach, have you seen the DAX? We hit new. It looked like it was
yeah,
going to roll over, and then here we are at all-time highs.
yeah, that's what I thought might carry it. So you get a five, and so I saw it. And if you looked at the DAX, it topped, when we started correcting here in the States, but it started from an RSI level that was, in the stratosphere, 85, 80, which are not long-lasting tops. There's too much mo. So perhaps they make a new highs, and there's a failing rally here in the U.S.
Yeah,
Mike
maybe.
Mike Green, how are you? Are you the famous Mike Green? I forgot your handle on Twitter. You're not? Okay. Yes, you are. Come on. You be the famous guy that has to come in here to find out what's going on. All right. So, uh, and of course, we have the dollar screaming. Uh, I'll go to Ryan first. Ryan, what lit up the board? First, it was Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's another great teaching lesson. Everyone was looking for what, 75, right? Because
Yeah.
that was the target on Bitcoin. So, I've said it a few times when everyone's looking for one number, either doesn't achieve it or melts through it. But I mean, in Bitcoin, if you're calling for a buy at 75, 70, anywhere from 70 to 80 is probably the buy zone. Um,
Morning, Dale, by the way.
hey,
And
hey,
yeah,
Ryan, so what lit everything up? I think it started with Bitcoin.
yeah. Well, you say about the numbers. I always take 20% off what people are calling for, and then that gives you, or add
Oh,
it on,
okay.
and that gives you a rough rule of thumb of where stuff usually stops.
Yeah. Yeah. So and what lit up the currencies when I checked them on the opening yesterday afternoon here.
Yeah,
They all came in higher. They all gapped. All right. I
yeah.
mean, you
Well, we know the
go
reason
ahead.
for the Bitcoin stuff, and that's Trump talking about his
Strategic
special
reserve.
currency, crypto reserve, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But really, this rallying, it's a rallying risk more than anything. Obviously, we had
Oh,
that blowout Friday night with Trump and Zelensky.
yeah.
Since then, UK and France has taken the ball by the horns to push forward with a peace deal. Zelensky seemed to soften up in a few comments and said a deal's still on the table with the US on this minerals. Not really heard anything from the Trump side massively, but the market got a bit of a panic on with that infamous meeting, that circus show on Friday, and things have
Yeah.
eased since. So we're pretty much going back to where we were in a lot of things. I mean, you pointed out the S&P. Big red candle on Friday, big blue candle
Yeah.
today, and we're back where we started pretty much. And that's where we're at. And now we've got a big week of data, central banks, tariff deadlines, and everything else going on.
And jobs on Friday.
And jobs, yeah. It's only
Everything.
Monday.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. I didn't do anything, but you look at the gold, right? Went right there and held. So this is important. Silver, same thing. Look at that uptrend line. I could go to daily and you'll see it. So, for me to buy a market on a Friday off a trend line, which I'm not like the biggest fan of, but that would have been tough to do, but that it is a fairly long trend line. So, I mean, you could be long against it, and you know where you're wrong. So look at all the confluence here too. I thought we might get down to 30.50, but maybe that was it. This was the correction in
Perfect text,
yeah, in
isn't it? That's
silver.
just what you want. Bit of confluence. It gives you
Yeah,
every reason to give it a go.
yeah. So very important that silver holds this. If people are right about this being a four in gold and we're blowing the new highs, um, you know, silver should do pretty good. We'll see what the ratio is trying to roll over again. And the last thing that I think is interesting is yields are up 5 bips on the 10-year, and that wasn't a weekly close I'd buy either, right? So I mean, you had negative weekly closes to buy things that popped today. You didn't have a good close Friday in the dollar or
No.
or the gold. It was still down, or the silver, but it held. Usually that's not enough of a contingency for me to take a leverage trade. If I was doing it unleveraged, then I don't have to be as perfect. But
Yeah.
it looks like maybe here's 1, 2, 3 here. And this too left a gap up. So is this trying to kind of correct in front of tariff announcements? Or
Dead
what
cat bounce, in my opinion.
is what a dead cat bounce?
Yeah, it's looking. I mean,
Okay.
420 was my next level under that 434 that you had.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise we bounced from there.
What if we
But
got
yeah,
back over 430? What would 34?
yeah, it's possible, but I think we're going to need to see the data coming in a bit stronger. There's a few little, they call them yellow flags, waving at the moment in US
Is the
data.
yen
And
is the yen a yellow flag for that yields could go higher?
no, I think we're not following yields right now.
Okay.
This again is a bit of that risk move, and we said it last week. We broke down, couldn't get through that 148.80s level and
Yeah.
hold it. We couldn't
That
get
was a
back above
big level.
151 and that 150.80 level. Now we're cracking through it. So
Yeah.
152 is on the cards
Yeah.
potentially, and then that's a big deal altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of things are approaching inflection points. They're doing
Yeah,
something right. You could probably go with what it's doing today for, a couple days. I don't know. I don't know what to do with the dollar. I was constructive. It's holding. Is this a pullback or was this all of it? Right now I'm thinking it's a pullback because my bet is on the S&Ps that this is a bear market rally that we're having from extreme oversold conditions. I'm not saying couldn't have another day left, but we almost got halfway back in a day and a half. Okay, it took all these weeks to get down there and recover it in 36 hours. Uh, Smacks of a bear market rally. So I'm looking for shorts. I'll give you some numbers. The weakness coming in today, which surprised me, is Apple's not doing anything. This could be a failing rally here in here. I thought maybe we could go to 45. NVIDIA held this line. You know how I feel about flat bottoms. We've had examples. Maybe it's a descending triangle or something now. You know how we had it in Bitcoin. It worked, you know, it didn't work forever, but it worked, right? So if you can, you know, sell a breakdown at 92,000 and a market goes to 78 and you can't make money on a move like that, you need to shut down your platform because you haven't learned the lesson of taking partials. So trade multiples so you could do it, lower leverage, multiples so you have flexibility. But this could turn out to be a descending triangle. Look at where it held. So, I mean, this is real important support at this 116 level. The high's been like 52. So if we take it out, that's 36, gives you $80, which would take out the July low from
It's a
last year.
cracking level.
Yeah, so you know, if we rally up towards in the 30s, I'm going to try it. You know, probably get out if it takes out 40. But the weak sister I see today is the Apple. That's we're coming in lower here. So on the 4 hour, it's showing more weakness than anything else. Look at Amazon. Looks like it's going to try and come out of the hole for ABC. Meta. Last week when we made new lows, Meta held the low and looks like it could still correct. Google's been one of the most seriously damaged, negating the breakout, but even this is due for a bounce. Netflix, you know, we had like a retest, even though the S&Ps made new lows with that breakdown under 920. Netflix didn't. Microsoft, you know, is trying to hang on. You know, looks like it broke down and now it's back above it. So this has been even weaker than Google. Hasn't made a new high since July of last year. And, you know, Blake pointed out this major support looks like it's trying to turn here. So that's what I see. I pay attention to the uh, to yields because I think the pain trade's on the other side now. The pain trade is you really can't find people talking about higher yields now. They're saying breakdown, you know, but if you look at this, it's fairly equal. You had equality pretty much from the first. So why can't it be an ABC and we go again? That's it. My brain is empty now. Anyone? How about you? How about you, Kay? How's your
Good
brain?
morning.
How's your brain today?
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody. My brain is doing actually pretty okay.
All right,
Uh,
good man.
it's on the March.
What?
March is starting, so I'm
Yeah,
brain is on
you're
the
on the
March.
march. Yeah, you're a creative guy. I bet you're right. Anyway, so and you know, are you looking to sell this pop in the end, or do you think it
Um,
has legs?
well, I tried very small dollar yen that didn't work, but I'm trying again in the euro yen against the trend line. But it's not in the yen that I'm really positioned right now. Those are chips on the roulette table, you know. I'm rather a bit long cable, Aussie,
Nice. That's right, you were.
even euro
Yeah,
dollar this morning. But the euro, I've already managed a lot of it. That's still short term because I'm still not a big fan of euro. But no, I'm yeah, it's going all right. Think start of March, maybe it's a bit of a mix of stuff that we are seeing now is coming into a new month. Risk is doing a bit better. No need to keep that many dollars. Also, perhaps a bit of doubting about the whole thing around tariffs and geopolitics politics and stuff. Also, Euro and the UK seemingly trying to bond together to make something happen on the defense side and the peace side at the same time. So there's a couple of factors that are driving this market right now. While we are waiting for ISM on especially on the services on Wednesday, and then the whole job thing coming up. Yeah, but is it a turnaround? Uh, I don't know. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm looking for this turnaround I told you in the dollar, but I'm not convinced it's there yet. But my bias remains.
Because before last week, I was prepared to buy the Aussie at 61.8, and that's what it held. I mean, so far it's no trip to Hollywood, right? Compared
No,
to
absolutely not. And
what the euro's doing. Yeah,
yeah, because I reckon it's perhaps held back a bit by those tariffs against China and due to those relationships. But really, this morning and like during your night, it's been really a case of the euro and the pound against
cable.
everything.
And what lit it up? What are traders saying are justifying it? And let me put this to you: is it possible because of the shock of the U.S. and Ukraine, even though they're trying to patch it up, that money is just leaving the U.S. and they're saying, I'm taking my ball and going
Um,
home?
Pop, pop, pop. That's a big call because that is one of the points that I'm looking for. Are we going to get there? And but that'll depend on how Trump reacts to all of it. Phew, you know, a reversal always starts from the bottom or the top of a currency. And is it possible that this is the start of? It's always possible, but personally, I think it's still a bit early to call.
Okay.
Because there's still the situation is still fluid. The reason as well, and you know how those correlation algos are plugged into markets. If you look at you look at the US yields being a little bit higher, but the UK and the European yields are actually moving a lot faster, higher. So you've got a bit of differential there.
Okay.
Less in favor of the dollar, more in favor of the sterling. I think even sterling is positive.
So the ECB may not be as dovish as the market thinks at this time.
We were talking about that on briefly on the Flow Show this morning. It's so well telegraphed, and economists all think that ECB is a done thing that they cut 25. But perhaps the most important thing is what will they do afterwards? Because if it's all baked in the cake, what's going to happen afterwards? You know, and I'm going to stick my neck out. Perhaps ECB is not the most important thing to happen this week.
Okay. All right. So, Blake, how are you today?
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good.
It's Monday, you know.
Yeah, I know. I know. When do the clocks change?
They got to
Oh, I got.
change soon. I'm trying to avoid that, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of thinking this might be the last time that we have time change before it becomes permanent for some
Yeah.
reason. So,
Good.
but
I prefer. You know how misery loves company.
oh yeah, you're gonna just laugh all day long, knowing that my time's gonna change and come back to you, come to your time zone.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to
no,
change your alarm, man.
right. No, I'm good. I'm sleeping as I talked about on the week ahead video, and we discussed here on a lot of our shows over this last week. I've really changed my trading tactics where I'm trading a lot intraday and I'm
Yeah,
scalping around and doing a lot of intraday trading, and I'm not going home with positions because this happens. You know, that you can
yeah,
see like the euro. I mean, we closed literally at the 50% retracement down at 103.75, and here we are,
yeah,
100 pips higher
yeah.
on news over the weekend, and I don't even know, Ryan, why is the euro up 100 pips right now?
That's why I keep. No one knows.
Yes,
That's bullish.
It's just on I think there's a lot of risk in there. As I said, it's a bit of reversals. They had he came over from Washington, met the King, met Starmer. Starmer and Macron are putting together a peace plan that might start going forward. That they're going to put to Europe. There's a Security Council meeting or something, European meeting on Thursday that Starmer's in. So it's not. Everyone thought, I think, in first instance on Friday, that the US pulling out of anything means that it's all over and there's not going to be a peace deal. Well, finally, Europe's pulling their finger out and waking up to the fact that it's about time they did something.
But then the flip side to that is, you get these headlines over the weekend that Mexico and Canada might avoid 25%. And what happens this morning? So you got the dollar MEX that's actually moving higher, the dollar CAD that's actually reversing lower, which you would think it would, like a gap lower, and it's moving a little bit lower here. And I mean, these moves are so volatile, but the thing is, and this is the point I'm trying to make, is why have the headaches of holding on to these positions over the weekend? I was very, very adamant this weekend about going home in cash. Just, take positions off the table, reevaluate, come in on Monday morning. And the great news is we're getting a crap ton of volatility, and that's the awesome thing is we're getting so much volatility in the market right now. One of the things that I've been really surprised about is the Aussie dollar is extremely weak. The Kiwi dollar is extremely weak. We're maybe at the highs of the session right now, but in relatively speaking, look at what the Aussies or what the Euro's done, what the sterling's done, and the Aussie and the Kiwi have really, really. They actually look very bearish and very much like they're just consolidating losses right now. Kman, do you have any explanation why the commodity currencies are so weak right now?
Yeah, that's what I said a bit earlier. It's UK and Europe versus the rest of the world if you look at the crosses.
Oh yeah, Euro Aussie is actually breaking out to the upside.
There's a lot of cross trading going on, and the commodity currencies, or the especially in Aussie and Kiwi, I think, are still held back by it's
Risk.
still not clear on the tariffs versus China and stuff, but that may be the cheap excuse, and I really think it's euro and sterling like standing up. The market must have been a bit short, especially in the euro and in the euro crosses, and yeah. But again, I mean, the situation is still fluid. Imagine UK, Europe coming up with a kind of plan, then completely piss off Putin and Trump and whatever, and then the whole card house can fall apart again. It's still very fluid. But in the meantime, we are going to have such kind of moves, I think, and we are not out. And you're talking about the volatility. I think it's here to stay for at least a good while until big money knows where to put their chips for
Right,
a longer period of time.
right. Yeah, I agree with that, and that's going to be quite some time, I think, before the whales kind of stick their neck out and get directional in the markets. And so until then, going to be a lot of volatility, which is great, especially for us traders. It's really great stuff, and that's why you guys should be in the Forex Analytics chat room. You should be talking with us about all these different topics inside of our chat room and having these conversations with us. Even Stelios has been in the chat room this morning, telling everybody how he feels about yields and everything else. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that. Go take your trial and jump in the chat room when you can. So let's talk about this week. We got a few minutes, and this is going to be a big week. We've got a lot of data coming out this week because it is a jobs week. And today we are going to get ISM services data. How do you guys feel about the labor market right now? Ryan, I know you're going to go on your live show here in just a few minutes. And by the way, I'm gonna try to jump over on Ryan's live show because I'm gonna troll him, but I'm gonna troll him under another name. I'm gonna be Big Pippin poontang, and I'm gonna be trolling you over there, Ryan. So on your live show, just to embarrass you. But what do you how do you feel about this week in the labor market?
Um, not really. We haven't really seen any weakness, have we?
Not yet.
Not yet. And we've been looking for
And they're
about
expecting 150,000 jobs this month.
yeah, and we're looking for what, 3 years for a weak jobs market.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen at some point. You can't keep going on like that forever. Is this the month? Is this the week? Who knows? I think you're going to have to take a lot from the employment components of the ISMs, manufacturing today, services on Wednesday, ADP in the middle as well. Is it when we're going to start seeing those government jobs trickling in? The deadline was second week of February or something. So I don't know, but that's a known unknown. So if we see a soft one and it's been, down 70,000 government jobs, then we know what it is. So yeah, I think there's potential opportunity on something like that. If we get a really soft headline number, the market's going to react, and then if it's down to those government jobs, we probably turn the other way.
All right. Well, I think the jobs numbers are going to be pretty important. And I do think that this Doge situation, and it is going to start making its way into the markets, and then that's when we have to start being a little bit more careful about sentiment, especially if the jobs market starts to roll over a little bit. Kman, you have any particular thoughts about the jobs numbers this week?
No, not at all, Blake. We can just wait and watch on that one. We have no idea when it will be when those job cuts will hit the markets. Really, when it's going to be taken up in the numbers. What I do think is that if we get a week when the market is going to jump on it, because it's now used to be calling for so long for the job market to weaken. So if it
Right.
gets, then the market will jump on it.
Can I see
Right.
your yield charts, Blake? See what you're
Yeah. Yeah.
looking at?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, I know, and so thanks for your thoughts there. Here are yields, obviously, 10 years bouncing finally. I mean, you got this is your
Notes.
ZNs, and I think these are pretty important to be looking at as we approach. We're
Yeah.
struggling here at the 200 DMA. We have a 50% retracement right here. Resistance. I mean, I get why yields are bouncing at current levels, but you pointed it out that the dollar is the dollar's weaker, yields are higher, but I do think that that's a result of the weekend news. It's not. I don't think that you can really draw much conclusion about that.
No, they'll
How do you
probably
feel?
take
How do you feel about yields right now, Dale?
I think that they're bottoming.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know you've been looking for some TLT moves. So maybe this will be the move that you're looking for,
Yeah.
and get a
Yeah. And
you
and
know
what if the market is bottoming here and the bulls are right? Um, that's going to take away some of the bid that bonds have had during this bout of weakness.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I don't know. I don't know how to read the bond market. I mean, I don't think it's traditional. Like,
Yeah.
unless we get some serious risk aversion. I mean, the markets really hasn't done a whole lot, and bonds have bounced, but I think it has more to do with probably monetary policy, and I don't know.
Where are you at on S&Ps then, Blake?
We hit channel support. We actually
Yeah.
bounced right off of channel
I
support.
tweeted that, and I tweeted that you called that trend line.
Oh, I didn't see that, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is channel support and it held. I was
Yeah.
surprised. I mean, obviously, we closed literally on channel support, and then obviously,
Yeah.
we're bouncing now. It's crazy. I mean, we just had a really big move, from there. I don't. I think obviously we know where to get bearish, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
get bearish below there, and while you're below there, it's still while you're above there, excuse me, it's still constructive to the upside.
Okay.
And the one last thing, you guys were talking about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin did have a big bounce. I didn't.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with
Go-
Trump talking
Gold
about
and silver too.
Yeah, Trump announcing on True Social, just basically saying that we're going to have a crypto reserve, and it's probably going to be made up mostly of Bitcoin, because you can really see. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum can't hold a bid.
No.
Cardano just everybody thinks there's going to be a mix of this in there. It's come off.
How's Farcoin look right here?
Oh, I haven't looked, but I'm sure it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's a smelly trade.
Yeah, here you go. It is a smelly trade. Woo, Farcoin. Anyway, a little messy over here. These meme coins or something else, but
Yeah.
I think some of the bigger names are obviously gonna benefit.
It got gassed. It got gassed.
Oh boy,
Farcoin.
you're not even a grandfather, or I mean, I guess you might be, but anyway, yeah, you got some bad dad jokes, man. Bad.
Jumping Jack Flash at the gas. And how did Mick look to you last night on the Oscars? You see Mick Jagger?
I didn't watch. I don't watch the Oscars. Who cares about the Oscars anymore?
Well, Mick, I know.
I think Hollywood's old news. Everybody's who's when are they going to do TikTok stars and all that other stuff? See, that's when it gets real, Dale.
Yeah, all right.
You got to get with it. Get with it, man.
I'm not, man. I'm look this up, an anachronism.
Hey, don't forget a little bit later today, and I know you have your interview here.
I don't have Dickie. I posted in Discord that he rescheduled. He rescheduled.
He had to reschedule.
Friday.
Okay, so let's not forget that we have. I know Ryan has to leave. Ryan, is there any last minute things you want to say before you bolt out of here?
No, nothing really. Just watch that ISM data later on.
When's your live show going?
Just about 30 minutes, top of the hour.
All right. So make sure you guys are listening in to Ryan and what are you guys doing for your special?
Well, we're going to kick off our normal show, but obviously we've got audience participation. So if you want to come and have a go at Michael for anything, feel free. Join the queue.
I hear the BBC is carrying it live.
They couldn't afford us.
You're right, man. We've replaced their whole business crew. Anyway, there was a tweet. Some guy that's following us said that he thinks that we should be a morning show on one of the networks because we're better than what he watches on Bloomberg.
Well, there you go.
And they nick all our stuff anyway.
Yeah.
We talk about saying on the Flow show or here, and then Bloomberg are talking about it the next day.
Either that or the whole market's actually talking about the same themes. It's not.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it might be that, Ryan, believe it or not. No. We're all looking at the same shit.
And anyway, it's good to see the public sees the value that we,
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
We're going to, we are only a month away from my 9-year anniversary of F.A.C.E. So it'll be F.A.C.E.'s 9-year anniversary the beginning of April.
I'm so glad you keep an eye on that stuff and you keep a tab on it, because I would have no idea. Somebody asked me the other day how old my dog was, and I was like 3. My wife's like, she's 13. I'm like, oh, whatever. 3, 13.
All right. All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, love is blind. So anyway, we wrapping it here, or you have some other things you want to cover?
You know what? Let me just say this. It's going to be a really busy week this week, especially as we get into the week. We have Ueda is speaking tomorrow early in the morning at an IMF thing, and so that's going to be tomorrow morning. So just keep that in mind, especially those of us watching the yen. I'm keeping a really close eye on the yen as we approach that 152 level. Obviously it's a big pivot, but also it's going to be channel resistance. You can see the dollar yen, it's having a nice little move. You got the 200 DMA is going to be somewhere up in that area. The Ichimoku cloud, as Kman likes to look at, it's a little bit higher than that, but I like this bounce in the dollar yen. I actually want to sell into it. I'm just looking for a level to do it. You have Australian GDP, Swiss CPI. On Wednesday we're gonna have ISM services, ADP non-farm. The ECB is on Thursday, and then Friday we have Canadian and US jobs. So it's going to be really, really busy as the week goes on, and it starts today with the ISM data. So a couple things, if you guys don't know how to get funded, you can be in the US and actually get instant funding if you want, but check out the trader funding program. It's, super popular program. I just had one of our guys, he had $1 million live account that he did a two-step assessment or a one-step assessment, excuse me, with. We don't have two steps, just one step, just our normal assessment. And he locked in, a very big chunk of money. And he's just like, man, it was a really good year. I got a little chopped up at the very beginning of the year. I'm going to take a little bit of break and then re-engage again. And I love hearing stories like that. So if you guys want to learn how to, access larger amounts of capital, check out the assessments, or you can just go into instant funding if you want to. So you can do that as well. But if you want to learn how to access larger amounts of capital, and this is the time to do it. It's when we're seeing volatility like this. I literally am trading aggressively every day. And if you want to know what I'm doing and what Kman's doing, Ryan's doing, and a bunch of other great traders, jump in the chat room and go over to the trades room, and you can actually see exactly what we're doing and where we're buying and selling stuff. And like I said, not just Kman, Ryan, and myself. Lots of great traders are in here talking about what they're doing. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. Dale.
Okay, well, everyone, here's the saying for the day. It's good to hope, but replace hope with stop loss orders so you don't have to hope in the market. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Pretty good week of interviews coming up. Let's Carly Garner, who's Jim Cramer's technician, Jerry. And we have a new guest, Blake, a couple new guests. Tommy Thornton. I don't know if you ever heard of him
Oh yeah, of
before.
course. Yeah, that's
You know
cool.
Tommy? So
Yeah, I
Tommy
know.
will
I know
be
who
with
he
us.
is.
Tommy will be with us Friday,
Oh,
and
nice.
uh, and Michael at S2 News, which is a signal from the noise. Not a huge social, uh, not a huge following, but he has some good insights to share with our group.
Awesome.
So, all right. So we're gonna have a big week. Keep an open mind. It's more important now than ever. Don't marry a narrative. Remember, price is king. And if you don't pay attention to price being king, you pay a price. So, good hunting today. And I'm kind of with Blake. It's really hard to be a position trader here. So, maybe you lower your time frames a bit and have a great day. Thank you, team. Kman,
Thanks,
thank
Coach.
you.
Cheers, my
Ryan,
friend.
break a leg on your show, and I'm sure it'll go viral. All right. And he's already gone. So take it easy, everyone. Get into the room. You need a community. You need to not be alone and learn to collaborate with people. It's an edge.
Even
Don't
get in here and look at the euro dollar. Greg is looking for a 4 hour B wave, which should be right where we're at right now.
Yeah, see?
You can get analysis like that right from the platform. So
Yeah, and I'm pretty good, and I go in and I see what the guys are looking at. I go over their analysis. It helps me, and you know how it helps me sometimes? Helps me avoid what I was thinking of doing because there's more information after I go there for me to take into account. So we're always processing all the way through it, and stay fluid and don't be rigid. And we'll all see you tomorrow. The best team on the net, the dream team at Forex Analytix. See everyone tomorrow. Adios. See you
thanks, Coach.
guys. You're welcome, guys. See ya.